Welcome everyone to the latest Code Geass Geass Code event, Akito the Exiled, the Lion's Messenger. Now, unlike other stories that I've done in the past, I kind of had an idea about what it was going to be about, but I have no idea what this story is. I think it's about Lelouch becoming Julius, maybe that time between R1 and R2, when Julius travels to Europia to help them fight against the EU. I assume that's what this is about, but hey, we're going to find out, and let's get into it. Like most standard stories, it's 3 chapters, so nothing new there. And as always, we have a little prelude before we get into the story. And without further ado, let's do this. Chapter 1, Prologue. This is going to say Prologue. I can't read Japanese, but I'm sure that's what this is. Yep, told you. Here's our little recap from the original series. In 2017, Japan was conquered by Britannia. A masked man appears in a land once called Japan. Ooh, Stage 8 reference, the hostage rescue. You guys like this music? I kind of like it. I think it's pretty cool. There's like 5 different songs in the game that cycle through during different events. Britannia Boy, yes he is, the symbol of anti-Britannia, created for a world where my beloved sister can live with a peace of mind, leading the Black Knights, an anti-Britannia organization. The world was very interested in Zero, who rebelled against superpower Britannia. There's Colin the Gurren. We're going through a lot of different scenes right there. That's kind of cool. The classic like film damage to kind of show like I guess we're reflecting on the past. It's a pretty simple but solid method of editing. Well, he was captured, that's why he disappeared from the Black Rebellion. It's not too much of a stretch there. I think we're now in Akito the Exiled because I believe that's the castle Weisenwolf that Layla Hant is inside of, or works in, I think. What's this? Rumor has it he died and was captured by Britannia, but from a small island nation. The momentum of an anti-Britannia started. It's still increasing even Zero is gone. It was making a big ripple of the world. Is this like a new timeline? He was captured by Britannia, but from a small island nation? No, Suzaku captured him. What? What? Okay. I must be really dumb. I'm not following this. And that's the battle between the Rally of the Republic of Europia and the Holy Britannian Empire. The intensifying European lands were no exception. Are they saying that he went to interfere in this? Which is true. Just very strange wording. There's Layla, by the way. I wonder what Akito the Exiled characters we're going to get in this story besides the typical ones. Lieutenant Colonel Ano. Are we going to be going through Akito the Exiled story? I hope we're not going beat by beat. They already released that already. Show the guy and show who she's talking to. Yeah, that was one of the missions they enacted in the OVA, if not mistaken. This is, by the way, why they use Japanese people, or as they call them, 11s, in battle, because the military is blamed the government loses credibility if they lose too many citizens. I'm still kind of lost as to how that makes sense in the greater scheme, but that's why we have Akito and the W0 unit sacrificing themselves. Isn't this what's his name? Perot? The guy who in the beginning she uses Akito on, not the guy but the technique, and then he later joins him. He joins him at the end of the story, I believe. Yeah. He again, show the guy, for crying out loud. This is the very first OVA of Akito the Exiled. Again, just show the guy she's talking to. It would have been so bad. Oh, the Apollo's chariot. This is Pollen's carriage. That's funny. Apollo's chariot. I guess that would have worked. No guarantees though, because they have to go into space. So I wouldn't say that's definitively the way it would have been, but sure. Yeah, I'm still lost why we're even showing this, when again, there's already the first OVA of Akito in this game. So it's a bit of a, how I put this, laziness, I guess you could say. Like, don't show this. Show us Lelouch becoming Julius Kingsley. That's what everyone wants to see. I even discussed it actually in my previous stream, my most recent stream before this video, about how they could have done that in the recap film. So kind of funny that we're actually getting to that same topic here too. Clement is her friend Anna. She made the Alexanders. I don't know why I paused there, but Alexanders. Alright, we got a little bit of time. Let's see what that is. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Wasn't this from a different dialogue which you spoke to Smiles after the event? Are they like just condensing a bunch of stuff into one thing here? Or maybe, you know what this might actually be, and I could be wrong. This might be the prelude before the beginning of Akito the Exiled. Like they're discussing this plan before it happened. Because they said how she only got 20 people, which wasn't discussed in the first OVA. And how they mentioned specifically Akito as the Japanese kid. So I think this is actually what happens right before the start of Akito the Exiled, which is kind of cool. Again, I don't know for sure because it doesn't say anything like, before the events of Akito the Exiled, this occurred. But that's what this looks like. Again, I don't know much about the story up until this point right here. So I'm just speculating. But that's what it looks like. The room is empty too, so they might be going through some kind of briefing on the plans. I guess this is where Akito first talked to Layla before she enacts the plan. By the way, this might actually go into an analysis video later on, which is kind of funny, because this might be the first sign, technically, where we see that Layla is showing interest in Akito, at least with his safety. Toru? Who the hell is Toru? I'm sure it's someone else's name. I'll look it up later. I'm not sure who the heck Toru is. Oh yeah, I imagine he wouldn't be alright. After all, he's about to be sent into a conflict where he's supposed to kill himself. That must be one of his buddies that got killed in the first battle in Akito the Exiled to take back St. Petersburg, as Layla just pointed out. I think it's one of his friends. It might have been the one that he told he would honor if he died or something. Because I remember the end of the first OVA, he went to the graves of his former soldiers, and, or I should say his dead comrades, that made more sense, and he paid respects. I think that's what he's talking about. Also, this is very important because this is why they're doing it to begin with. And they mention that in the end of that OVA as well. That's what Akito tells Layla at the cemetery. Was it a cemetery? It might have just been an area where he put the stones down. I thought it was a cemetery. You don't have a family, dude. They're gone. Your mother and father are dead. Your brother killed your father. Killed actually both your fathers, which is kind of funny. It's not funny. It's actually quite terrible. And he also killed the mother. Wait, did she kill the mother? What happened to her? I think she just... Man, I just watched it too. Man, I suck. What happened to the mother? Shin killed the father. And the mother? I think she also died by the father's hand. I just don't remember. I don't think that's what happened because he said she would live with him forever. Whatever, I'll look it up later. I apologize. I'm having I'm blanking out right now for some reason about what happened to the mother. A rare newspaper. mean like the one that Ryu looked at and he found out about the whole pizza thing? Get out of here. Same newspaper, huh? So loud indeed. I don't mind these characters talking to someone, but it would have been so hard to put the person at some point on screen here. I mean, these are not made up people. We saw them in the first episode. Just make like a new version of them for this, I don't know, picture drama like thing, storyline, or story mode, I guess. I don't know why they don't do that stuff. A genius warrior, huh? It's a very long prologue to get to what we already know what's going to happen. Did Portugal fall? I don't know, did it? We're about to find out. I honestly can't keep track of all the nations that Britannia conquered or was at war with during the events of Code Geass. The ones I'm of course familiar with are the Chinese Federation and all the nations under the Chinese Federation, like the Indian government, although I thought they were also fighting for their freedom against the Chinese Federation. Hold on, I missed something. That Julius Kingsley lost just because he intervened? What? Don't they mean they won? So I guess what they're saying here is that Julius has been helping the EU, or I should say Europia, winning a lot of battles before this conflict. So Akito knows about Julius Kingsley. He never mentioned that in the OVA. I guess a little retcon there. I don't recall them ever interacting once. No, I mean they know of Julius, I guess, from that one video for the Ark Fleet, but I don't recall them ever actually interacting once. I could be wrong. Valletta would be here? I guess so, because she was aware of their plan. This entire story, by the way, which looks like it's what I thought it was, the transition, or I should say not transition, the bridge between Akito and the end of R1. What I am kind of confused about, though, is the fact that we didn't get this in the film for some reason. I also think this is kind of funny that they decided to do this now, when in reality, when they first made Akito the Exiled, this should have been part of the OVA from the get-go, because this is very important information. The picture dramas for Akito don't really go into anything important on this type of scale. Jesus, my lord, we must beat Portugal. It wasn't Chewy in 3 days. Here he is, Julius. I kind of wish they showed Charles turning Lelouch into Julius and that whole process. That would have been kind of cool. They just kind of skip it, which is unfortunate because that's always I want to know, like how he went from one to the other. And there we go, that's the logo. Akito Exiled, the lion. And that's the prologue. We see Julius helping them take over Portugal. And I guess this is the bridging story between the two series, which is cool. I kind of wish, again, it was in the film initiation or in the original OVA itself, but it is what it is. Let's go to part 1. Part 1. The White Knight on the Round Table. I assume that's referring to Suzaku. I don't know why I said it's so weird. Suzaku. Or Suzaku. Whatever. Tomato. Do 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 do. This song is really catchy, but also kind of annoying. No! Alright, I'll stop singing. The famous knight Count Baemont Sutherland, crawling on the ground, the tip of the MVS of the Lancelot, on which Suzaku rides. I was stuck in the cockpit. Count Baemont. I'm not sure who that is. I'm kind of annoyed now, because I'm sure it's someone in the extended universe. The name doesn't... I'm not sure who that is. I'll look it up later. Schneiser. They always call Schneizel Schneiser in this game. I think it's funny. That's the Arc 2 Suzaku, by the way. In case you guys didn't know, we saw him in the last event. This sounds like Gurren and I keep doing that. Lancelot and Gurren. My god. Lancelot and Gurren stuff here, because that's when this kind of happened. Where he decided to go back to the homeland. Or he didn't actually decide to go back to the homeland. He had to prove himself worthy to become a Knight of the Realm member. Alright, Schneiser. This was a problem. I guess so. They didn't have a match. That's not what happened at all. It was Suzaku fought a bunch of Sutherlands to become the Knight of Seven. He didn't have a match with Suzaku. That's wrong. Unless I'm bad translation. Man, he's really creepy. Dude, space please, back up a little bit. I'm right here. You don't have to ask what that means. Oh, Father, you're as crazy as ever. What? No, don't you mean if he wins? That's a mistranslation. I think what they're trying to say is if he wins, give the Knight of Seven. Jesus, your highness! Also, stop calling me Schneiser. It's Schneisel. Whatever you say, Schneiser. What the hell was that? Drinking milkshake? What a stupid sound. Yeah, there it goes. This is from Lancelot and Gurren. This is when he becomes the Knight of Seven by defeating a bunch of Sutherlands. Nice how they're putting it in here, but we don't see anything, so it's kind of lame. He has. It went from no to he has. Yeah, this is the problem with this game in general. Like it tells you awesome stuff, but never shows it to you. This is where anime would be much better. Indeed, what is going on? I can't see anything. Fair point. It's a nightmare frame, not him. No offense. He's pretty talented too, but he's got a pretty powerful nightmare frame to boot. Then again, wiping out a bunch of Sutherlands is still very impressive. Gloucester's a little bit more impressive, in my opinion. I want to go back to the manga. I don't recall this ceremony happening in this building, but I'll go through it again. I thought it was an open area, but I could be wrong. That might just be the coloring of like the pages because everything's in black and white. But I thought it was an open arena, not a closed one like this one, with no people even watching apparently. Sorry. Stunning. And brave.
Knight of Seven, Prologue Suzaku. 我が直使としてユーロブリタニアの査察を命じる。
Okay. This is probably how Julius arrives there, because he's going to go with Suzaku, I believe, is the connection here. Jesus, your majesty. Ooh, that they're all interacting. Were they interacting like this in the manga? I thought Suzaku wasn't with Lloyd or Cecile until he got back from the Holy Pretend Empire. I could be wrong there. I gotta read the manga again. Cecile is really angry, as usual. What's Suzaku do this time? Oh, Lloyd. Yeah, Lloyd always pisses her off. What are you, a robot? Well, I mean emotionally, but not physically, unfortunately. Nothing will ever change, Cecile. Nothing will ever change. Sir Waldstein. You will be referring to Bismarck Waldstein, would you? Yeah, they don't go with him, I believe. That's right. Obviously, we don't see him in Akito the Exiled. I also don't see them in the manga either, so I guess they're trying to keep that consistent. I assume that's the Vincent? When they're referring to Rapid Lancelots, I assume it's the Vincent. When did that happen? Did they become Camelot? You mean they changed the engineering corps to Camelot? Did that happen in R2? I must have missed that. I gotta do some more research about that. I don't recall that happening. If it did, it wasn't very formal. Camelot took over? I could do a lot of research after this this picture drama to figure all this stuff out. I do not remember that at all. Is there a worship knights around? This is very interesting, I have to admit. It's good lore stuff. But are they all flyable at this point? I'm not sure what she means by that. I'm glad someone understands. Oh, what? People won't come back to them? I don't know what she's referring to. It's not a manjayaki? I'm not sure what that is. I'm guessing Cecile's upset because Lancel might be destroyed. She's referring to Suzaku. That's funny. That's actually kind of funny. Oh, of course, I'm worried about him too, but we go to get a new pilot, but that Lancelot was a lot of work. She's so angry, it's amazing. It's not good for each other to worry too much about someone else. Interesting. What does that imply? That is... Ooh, is Lloyd implying that there's something else going on between the two of them? Interesting how they're throwing that into this little scene here. Meanwhile, back at the homeland? EU? Japan? Where are we? Looks like Japan, but I don't think it is. Ooh, Bismarck. He'll be in the game next too then if we're seeing him. Don't make a level 4, you mother chuckers. You make everyone a level 4 and it's so insulting and irritating. Little rant there, sorry about that. But summoning in this game is a piece of shit. So the fact that they keep making all these characters level 4 is so annoying. Like Dalton, he respects what he's accomplished. Zaku's face here is kind of weird, but okay. Alright, he's going to St. Petersburg as well. Why, for the same reason as Julius is, to help them conquer that area. But they won't be there for a while, because they don't show up till later on in OVA 2. Actually, it was the end of OVA 2, if I'm not mistaken, so... Sorry, I missed something. Do you know what the Euro Britannia is? Well, that's... I don't think he was kind of cross in a mean way, but you can interpret it as such. Do you even know where you're going, son? The Grand Duke of Lorraine with Augusta Henry Highland as... Yep, he describes the whole thing. That's really for the audience, I think, not for Suzaku to clarify that. Really, you never would have guessed that one, Bismarck. No offense, dude, but no shit, obviously. They're not happy with the rule of Britannia. Possibly. Get in. What's up, buddy? Remember me? Oh, God. Oh, he's so pissed. Oh, my God. Didn't even know about this either, which is actually more confusing than if you think about it. Because, was he president when this would happen? I guess not. Okay, so we just finished part 1. Now we're going to part 2. Part 1 was kind of slow, but they had to lay the foundation for the events to come. I hope things are going to pick up a lot more as we go through the story. But then again, there's not much that happens in this bridging, I guess, event, so don't get your hopes too high, I guess. Here we go. Part 2. Warrior Knight.
私はジュリアス・キングスレイ。お初にお目にかかるナイト・オブ・セブンを。確かクルルギス族と言ったかな。
I imagine we pissed off.
日本人がブリタニア人を殺したいほど憎んでいるというのは本当らしい。そんな怖い目で睨むだなんて相当なもの。
Okay. Suzaku's like, you son of a gun. I'm gonna wipe you out, man.
そうか。貴公は私に似たその男を殺したいほど憎んでいるらしい。
Facts. Gentlemen, I mean children, calm down. You can kill yourselves later. I mean never. I meant never. Don't ever do that, guys. That's it, both of us. He means both of you. The translator's kind of funny.
査察とは嫌にオブラートに包んだ言葉を使われる。
Yeah, that's a funny expression. Suzaku's thinking, really, Bismarck? You would do this to me? Why?
貴公もユーロブリタニアのことを知っているだろう。祖先の土地を取り戻そうとしている。それゆえに生ぬるいの。
That's why it's warm, okay? Man, Suzaku is so close from killing. He's so close to killing me, so man, it's funny. It's not actually funny, but you know what I mean. What if?
皇帝陛下は望んでいないのだろうな。そんな悠長な戦争は、だからこの私に命が下ったのだろう。
Guess I must have died? What does that mean? He wants Julius to end this without a long war? Interesting.
K にも今回の査察の意味をようやく理解してもらえたようだな。
Well, I'm glad Sonify knows their role. As The Rock says, know your role and shut your mouth. Oh, we got a little side quest. We're going to capture a fortress before we go to Petersburg.
まずは腕試しというところです。皇帝陛下はポルトガルを落としただけでは満足いただけなかったよ。
That must be why they're that's how they're going to extend this out for several parts, because other than that, it's a simple, hey, let's go to Petersburg, and that's it. St. Petersburg, and there we are. So they gotta drag this out.
このジュリアス・キングスレイがジョージアをも下し、ユーロ・ブリタニアに向かうに値するかお見せしよう。K にも働いてもらうぞ、ナイト・オブ・セブンだ。なんだ？
I'm translating, but you guys know what this means. Who the hell is Lord Reed?
ただ一つの願い。そんなこと決まっている。皇帝陛下の命に従うことだ。それ以外のことなの。
That's right. That's exactly from the OVA as well. Very consistent. I hear the obvious. Don't we all? Alright, have fun, guys. Okay, that was part 2, and again, it's not the greatest, and this whole subplot to go other places, I don't know if I really want to see the adventures of Suzaku and Julius. Maybe you guys do, I don't know, but to me it's like, I don't know. Not really what I wanted to see, I guess, is what I'm trying to point out here. But let's finish chapter 1 with part 3. Part 3. The price of rebellion. Ooh. Are we going to show what happened before the events of him becoming Julius? Or maybe we'll show him becoming Julius.
第17皇位継承者ルルーシュ・ディ・ブリタニア。久しいな我が息子よ。
I hate Charles' voice. Is that just me? It's so irritating. In the Japanese, anyways.
貴様!
Zero を捉えた褒美をよこせと。
お前! 友達を撃って出世するのか?
I'm not saying much because you guys already know this part of the story. Nothing new here, just a simple recap.
よかろう。今の答え気に入った。ではナイト・オブ・ラウンズに命じる。ゼロの左目を塞げ。
Jesus, your majesty. Also, considering they already showed this, again, in the R2 picture dramas, or not picture dramas, like the story for this game, this is kind of a lazy way to do this again, because we've already seen this. Don't show old footage, show new footage, guys. Come on. This is a waste of time. Why can't they just show, one second. You done? Okay. Why can't they just show Lelouch becoming Julius Kingsley? What is so complicated? They've shown us like every aspect but that. I don't care about this. I know what he tells him.
記憶を書き換えるゼロであることマリアンヌのことなら
まさかギアス
全てを忘れただ人となるがよい
やめろまた俺から奪うつもりか母さんをナナリーまで
It's the same crap from before. Why is he telling him to become a regular human being when he's gonna make him his servant? In their own OVA they messed this, in their own story they messed this up. Come on, guys. This is so bad.
シャルルジ・ブリタニアが刻む
やめろ
新たなる偽りの記憶を
Charles' face is glitching. Wow. Oh, an animation. How rich. Ah, fun times. See, we don't know. Why it was. This is a good question. It shouldn't be something that Suzaku is asking out loud. It should have been definitive in the story. I hope the guy will see a flashback that shows this. Also, what happened to the sound? Just die out? What the hell? Eye catcher. More like dream catcher. Or how about C2? But, yeah.
ぼんやりしているようだがどうしたクルルギ卿 ナイト・オブ・セブン殿が私に興味を示してくれるとは光栄だな。
It's kind of funny. Suzaku's kind of pissed at that response, though. Oh, I'm interested.
まあいい。とはいえ、特別なことなど何もない。
What? Tell me. I must know.
できうる限りの情報を集め、状況を分析し、少しのブラフを混ぜて戦略を立てる。
Well, I assume the strategy would be around the same. He wouldn't like become a completely different person. Just his devotion and focus are somewhere else now for Britannia, instead of against Britannia.
Hmm. そんな魔法みたいな力があるなら、ぜひ手に入れたいものだ。
Okay, true, but I'm not sure what to do with anything that Suzaku asked. Objection, unresponsive witness, please. Hello, boys. Valletta, you always come with us. Stop it. We don't need a babysitter. Me too. Oh, really? I couldn't tell that without the narration. Thanks, guys. Super helpful.
そう目的地のジョージアにも間もなくだ古着教
Lord Kiki? What the hell? I mean Kururugi, not Kiki. That's bad.
そうだだからこれからお前に降りられる場所を作ってもらう
I'm confused too.
これから行動を共にするにあたってお前の実力を知っておきたいだからここは一つ噂の乱できるさ少なくとも皇帝陛下直属の騎士であるナイト・オブ・ラウンズに敗北は許されないだからクルルギ教はやってのけるしかないんだよ
So they're gonna go invade an airport? Okay. Sounds like fun.
Ah, 私もそのつもりだ
This must be brand new art they made for this event. The button panel is kind of ugly, in my opinion. Like a lot's happening on screen, but we don't see any of it. It's just talking. Really frustrating stuff, but this is what you expect in this type of game. They should have, just like the last event, this also should have been animated. They're wasting it on this event in the game. This is crucial information. It should not be presented like this.
Sate, 終わったかな いいぞなかなかに使えそうじゃないかクルルギスザ
And there we go, end of part 3 of chapter 1. Gotta be honest, just like the last story as well, the first chapter was awful. I was kind of bored through most of this. I also didn't care about half the other parts. He also wasted time with too much flashback, and I don't care. We know that stuff. That's not what we're here for. I hope you guys are ready for more of the adventures of Suzaku and Julius, because that's what this event seems to be, for better or for worse. Okay, so we have now finished chapter 1. Let's move on to chapter 2 of this event. Here we go, guys. Chapter 2, Part 1. The White Fox in the Black Sea. Ooh, cool map.
意外と早かったなエンジニアと作業用のナイトメアはそうか準備がいいだが少し待てしばらくすればこのバトミ空港が我々に占拠された情報が敵本部に届くだろう
I think he finished. That was quite a long thing he said right there. Yeah, they're still with the
動
airport.
くのはそれからおお厚労省のご登場じゃないかご苦労だったなクルルギ卿さすがナイト・オブ・ラウンズに入るだけの実力のことはある
We
短
already
期
did
で
because
駐
I
留する連隊
remember.
規模を制圧するなど並大抵の人間では不可能なことだ。
Guess so.
Hmm. 黒海に面したここは重要拠点ゆえにユーロピアは何としてでもこの機会に自分のものにしたいだろうな。
Because it's an important base based in the Black Sea, Europe wants to get it back. Anyway, the Chinese Federation will like to take it up and own it as well. Oh, I see. So they're fighting the Chinese Federation to grab this this base. Got it. Okay.
なんせここにブリタニアの兵は数えるほどしかいない。 だから悠長に敵の行動を待っている場合ではない。クルルギ卿はそう言い。無理だな。成から要塞のある東の飛び石はジョージア州軍の本拠地だ。今回のような奇襲では数で圧倒される。 もちろん交渉するんだ。平和的にな。
Right. Peaceful Volush. Doubt it.
ほう、動きが早いな。つなげ。はじめまして。私は神聖ブリタニア帝国の軍師、ジュリアス・キングスレイだ。
That must be the guy from the George army who wants to communicate with Julius Kingsley here. His name is Gol Saudia.
おや、私をご存知とは光栄ですね。
It's an honor to know me. That's funny. He knows too. That's funny.
「話が早いですな。では端的に申し上げる。成から要塞を明け渡し、我がブリタニアに下っていただきたい。
Yeah, his base makes sense there. That's like a very strange request. What are you, stupid?
こちらには
No, I
500
think
人
you're
以
the
上の
stupid
捕
one,
虜
sir.
がおりますが、それでも では交渉決裂ですな。こうか。
So we're about to have a battle, it looks like. Again, that was pretty much expected at this point. Looks like we're going to war. To be expected, I guess. Part 2, here we go. Part 2. The power of Julius. Yes, indeed.
さすが黒海の白狐と歌われたゴルサルディア将軍だ。
With all this Valletta involved in the story, it would have been kind of cool if she was relevant in Akito the Exiled. I guess they didn't want to put her in the story, but I like her involvement in this story.
すぐにでも中華連邦と連携を取って近くの基地から部隊を出すだろうな。 問題ない。ビレッタは予定通り作業に入る。
He's not really feeling the confidence there, Julius.
聞こえなかったのか私の指示が。
Takes off a letter. Ooh. That was kind of mean to her, don't you think, Lelouch? See, he means like, dude, what the hell's wrong with you?
それが戦略という。
Good question, Suzaku. What is it? No movement. Huh? They said there was movement. Yeah, what does it
いい
mean?
や、私は何をしている。
So they're not supporting them? Is that what they just said there?
シュナイゼル殿下が中華連邦との交渉を進めていることは知っているか。
Schneiser. Yes, he is talking with Chinese Federation.
国同士の交渉だ。
Last I checked, it
そん
wasn't
な
going
段階で
well.
中華連邦が敵対行動に見えるような動きなんてしないだろうさ。
So the Chinese Federation is not helping the Georgia forces?
情報とは力だ。その力を使って勝利へと導くのが戦略というもの。しかし、戦略だ。わかる？
It's a pretty good quote, actually.
ああ。
I would assume so,
北から
yeah.
攻めてくるユーロピアの部隊を殲滅しろ。お前ならできるだろう。
Suzaku is going in part 3. Let's go. Part 3. Signs of an accident. Oh, great. We're starting with Gino. Back in Japan, it looks like. Yes, the fortress. I guess Bismarck's the next character to come out since we see him. You have a quick ear. Well, duh. His eye. They joined around the same time? Never got that impression. Yeah, I don't think you could beat Bismarck in a battle right now, Gino. Oh, why didn't they send Gino instead of Suzaku? I don't know. Good question. That's true, but for some reason Bismarck is smiling at the prospect that he could die. That's weird. Ah, back to this guy. That's not good, they're not doing so well.
よくやったクルルギスザク。これでゴルサルディアは生半可な奇襲は戦力がそがれるだけだと分かったはずだ。
So he took all the forces, but they didn't even show much of any of that. Okay. Then he also got back in time to talk to Julius about it. Okay, I guess that makes sense. He's in the Conquista now, so I guess that works.
なに、そんなことは問題ではない。私の知力とスザク、お前の戦闘力があれば不可能なことなどない。私とお前なら。
That's true. This is a prelude to the Zero Requiem in that regard.
ああ、違うか。
Suzaku the whole time is begrudgingly helping out Julius, knowing that he hates Lelouch.
何をバカなこと。前にも言ったはずだ。すべては皇帝陛下のご命令を全うすることが。
That was weird. He was talking with no sound for a couple seconds there. Ooh, Julius collapsed. But they lowered his art, his image. It fell down a little bit. That's it. That's kind of lame.
皇帝陛下のご命令を。
He's fighting off his father's control. Suzaku's like, ooh, that was weird. Sweat like a ball floats on the face, and the suffocation is transmitted. Indeed, I didn't know suffocation could be transmitted, but there you go.
わからん。
The Geass obvious.
だがひどく喉が渇く。水をくれないか。
He wants water? Right, from the Akito, he asked the same thing, but why water? Oh, Vlad had me in the room. Drink some water. Well, it was the only thing I could find, so... Oh well.
いや、今はその時ではない。
No time for rest.
それよりも例の作戦の進捗はどうか。悪くない。
It's not
お前は
bad.
このまま作戦の指揮を取り、6時間おきに私に進捗を報告しろ。
Jesus, my road. Guess the watch did the trick because he's back to his normal self. I think we could figure that on our own game, but yes, she left the room.
大丈夫だ。作戦に支障はない。それよりもお前は体を休めておけ。連戦続きだ。いざという時に戦えなくては困るからな。
Julius fighting, what a joke. I mean, physically, of course. Back to the sky. Things aren't going well for him and his troops. Ooh, General Smiles. Look at that. His first introduction into the story. Makes sense. Where's his picture? I would never work with that guy, he's crazy. If you guys know from Akito the Exiled. Oh, because they're gonna focus on that, they're not gonna help out here. So basically, this is happening around the same time as the first OVA of Akito the Exiled. Very interesting. But Smiles is too big of Petersburg. Sorry, dude, you're on your own. Oh, but that's a Kurodite, though. It's important. I think he's afraid. He just wants backup. That's a little harsh. If Julius anticipates that, and he'll probably have Suzaku cover that area. Although it's one nightmare frame, it's still a pretty powerful one. Numbers isn't everything, but it might work. We'll see. Alright, and now we are moving on to part 4. You think it's the last part? No, we got 5 as well. Okay, so part 4 is next. Here we go. Chapter 2, part 4. False memory. That would be Julius in a nutshell. False memory. Ah, back to the map. Here we are. I believe this is the, that base that the guy was reporting from. "2,000 troops? Is that what this says here? Oh, okay. It's a lot of troops, though. Vibration. Oh god, not another landslide. Leviathan. That's a cool name. Is that the giant tank that they use? Like the one that Smiles used at the end of Akito the Exiled? It's a cool name for a weapon, though. The Leviathan. Very biblical. So far, we've been in like 2 rooms this entire chapter, which is fine, I guess. But, Oh, Julius is playing chess right now. Makes sense. That's all he does. And what's wrong with chess, Suzaku?
ああ、ただの手遊びだ。どうだ、一局。
This is just a hand play. How about one station?
そうだな。苦手というわけではない。どうも昔から触っているらしくてな。チェスの打ち方を考えていると頭が冴えてくるのさ。正式には数年前だ。本国の軍学校での成績が良かったからか、皇帝陛下に取り立てられたというわけだ。
That's a false memory, I believe. Probably one of many that was implanted on his mind. See, it would have been kind of cool if we saw Charles do this to Lelouch, instead of just saying it happened.
Soだ。皇帝陛下は私を ただの学生だった私を取り立てて。
Fell over again once he thinks about the false memories in his mind.
なんだこの感覚は。喉が渇く。
Not sure why he's thirsty from all this. They never really explain that. It's just something happens when his memories start acting up. This little water helps keep the memories of Charles' command intact. That seems really hard to believe, if you ask me.
Ah, そうだったな。だが問題ない。こちらの準備はできている。話はそれで終わりか。間もなく日が暮れる。奴らも進軍を始めるだろう。お前も準備をしておけ。
So it looks like they're going to intercept the forces, which is what I anticipated. And now part 5. So they discuss briefly what they're going to do. More discussion about the false memories, which kind of already knew, but I guess they wanted to make it clear or clarify. The lines below. Yes, lines below. Ooh, a new location, finally. So this is a warehouse. A cockpit, as I figured. Now, strange enough, it actually wouldn't be the Conquista, because in Akito the Exiled, he didn't have the Conquista at the time. It was the regular Lancelot. So I assume that's what he's piloting here. I might have stated earlier was the Conquista, but no, it's actually the regular Lancelot. Where's the sound? Did it just die out? This game always does that. The sound just disappears for some reason. Well, I mean, they were approaching the airport, so yeah.
Tsunage. Yeah, ゴルサルディア将軍、先日は残念でしたな。中華連邦にははしごを外された結果、九大使の部隊は全滅してしまった。最後通告か。しかしわからないな。なぜ勝てる戦から逃げる必要がある。私はここから一歩も動かずヒコーラに勝利してみせよう。通信の発信源は特定できたか。やはりな。ドローンからの観測データは。前回の電撃作戦が失敗したとなると数で押し切ろうとするのは道理となると山間部は避け開けた寒サリ山の麓に戦力を集めるだろう。 何せこちらの戦力は小隊規模ほどだ。数で押し切れば必ず勝てる。しかしゴルサルディアは一つ判断を誤った。
I think he made several mistakes, but definitely one in particular.
コケにした私を逃がさないつもりだ。だから寒さりまで近づいての通告だったのだろう。国会の白狐といえど頭に血が上っては冷静な判断はできん。やれ。
Does the sound just go away if the game stays on too long? I don't like if the chapter just keeps going on too long. I don't know what's going on. It just stopped. Ooh, this is a cool image. Bunch of soldiers. Are these European soldiers? But yeah, European. What's that sound? An earthquake. Yep. Very typical tactic to make a volcano erupt. That makes sense. He did something similar to Mount Fuji, but also in Narita he made the mountain have a landslide. So this is pretty typical of his strategies.
Samusariyama は活火山ではないだけ。少しきっかけを与えればこうやっていつでも活動するのさ。
That's funny. Not trying to is.
気づくのが遅いな。
Doom. Get it like Mountain Doom. And that's now chapter 2, so we're going to war against Europia, apparently, to take over a CERN airport that will give them an advantage in battle. Julius has erupted a volcano, just like he did in R2, was it turn 22, 23? During that battle against the Shinaizo and the Black Knight. The story still isn't really that interesting in my opinion. I get what they're trying to do here. They're trying to show Julius and Suzaku's journey before the events of Akito the Exiled, or even concurrently it looks like. But still, it seems a lot of stuff thrown out here. This would have been much better in the OVA as opposed to a picture drama-like story. But there we go, that's the end of Chapter 2. Okay, let's move on now to Chapter 3. Part 1. Unbearable Power. So I think Suzaku is hearing the volcano. I'm not sure. That's what I think the sound is right here. Upset is probably an understatement, I would imagine. Yes, you got Suzaku, you figured it out. Brilliant. You won't sit by for mass killing, I guess? Start your cavalry? Hurry up. Ooh, not good. good indeed. The eruption is terrible, not to mention infantry. I think it means to the infantry. Yeah, this volcano eruption was definitely not predicted, as we can tell by this guy's reaction. Oh, he was killed by the volcanic explosion. That's classic Lelouch playing right there. He always kills the main guy who opposes him in a really horrible way. Think of Colaris and of course Clovis, and even Faulknar's son too. Very creative. Not creative, very similar strategy.
だから言っただろう、ゴルサルディ。私はここから一歩も動かず、ヒコーラに勝利してみせると。
Well, epic laugh right there. I think Valletta is terrified, and honestly, I don't blame her. That was very scary. We know Zero's a terrifying man. Obviously. Alright, let's move on now to part 2. And part 2 is called Real Words. Real Words, okay. Okay, so my thought about this must be this. In Akito the Exiled, I guess the Lancelot he used could have had the float unit attached to it, but he didn't have it when he was fighting indoors. I guess that makes sense. Still confused how he got captured. Also, this is a bit of a nitpick, but didn't the Lancelot and Akito the Exiled have like Yuffie's knight symbol on one of the sides here, so should have had it in this version. Again, it's a minor nitpick, but that probably explains why he has the flying enabled version here, even though he didn't have it in the actual OVA. Dude, your instructions are to run. You see this thing coming at you? Run, man. I hate how to die like this. You mean I don't like to die? I don't like it. Eesh. Bad translation right there. It's kind of weird, and it's another minor nitpick, but if he's piloting the Nightmare frame, why does it look like he's like sitting, or his image is like in the background of it? It's kind of weird. He's not like, I don't know, the perspective here is really weird. Like, he should be much bigger, considering that's the seat, but he looks like he's much, you know what I'm saying, it's weird. I think crying is at least the things they're gonna do. Ooh. Oh, he's intercepting them. Okay.
何より私を降伏するように勧告した。それでも戦うことを決めたのは彼らの方だ。何が違う？戦争は命の奪い合いだ。
Man, Julius is so evil. I'm not sure. It's actually entertaining to some extent.
本当の私？お前は何を言っている
Suzaku's really angry, in case you can't tell. I don't know, Lelouch could do awful things in the original series, after all, Naruto, right? I'm not sure what Suzaku's talking about.
本当の俺だと。俺は
So the full unit was damaged. Is that why you didn't have it in Akito the Exiled? I wonder if that's why. I was still confused about that. We don't see that in Akito the Exiled, so I guess that's what happened. That's what happened, I guess.
Suzaku.
Ooh, he sounded worried there for a second. The old Lelouch was getting a little nervous there.
トイジーコンプレッサーを止めろ
Oh, he stopped it once Suzaku was injured. That makes sense.
いいから止めろ
Now, woman. I mean, Valletta. Stop because it's okay. Yes, my road. Oh, it's over. We live.
「戦果は十分敵軍は壊滅状態だこちらに攻め入ることはできないそれどころか成から要塞の解放にも応じるだろう」本国へ連絡しろこのバトミ空港を抑えておける最低限の増援が到着し次第成から要塞へと向かう
So I finish off the army, now it's time to take out the fortress. Sounds good to me.
副将は
I would be confused too if I was Valletta. Yes, my road. The same three guys from before. That guy's dead. Died, remember guys? Oh wait, maybe you didn't know that. He died. Absent-minded indeed. At least he survived. He's in the little forest somewhere, but at least he's still alive. Which we knew, obviously. Lelouch. Okay, we got 2 more to go. First with part 3 and then the epilogue. Part 3. 2 people to the north. If he's talking about this, has the events of St. Petersburg already occurred? I would assume so. So I guess she's like thinking back on that, or discussing it, I should say, in present time. Oh, Smiles is talking to her. Got it. Okay. He never mentioned him in the original OVA, so he must have not been that important. Oh, I see. So it still hasn't happened yet. Whereas this is all before Akito the Exiled begins. Okay. Wasn't sure, they clarified. Back to Mr. Bismarck. What's up, sir? Ooh, Charles' first... No, it's not his first appearance here. Well, we haven't seen him in quite a bit of time, though.
Saji wa yoi. 使えるかどうかを見極めることができたのなら、それでいい。
He talks so slow. Yes, send them to Europe Britannia.
奴らに本来の命を与えよ。ヨーロピアを潰してこいとな。
He wants them to crush Europia. I thought they wanted to take over the EU with the help of Europia, because Europia are Britannians who are Europia are people in Europe who are loyal to Britannia. So I thought he wanted them to take over the EU, not Europia. Jesus, Your Majesty. Yes, my road. Attention, fools. I mean, Suzaku and Julius. I guess Suzaku just magically ended up back to Julius after crashing the landslide. They never really explained that. Heh, knight. Thought okay. On inspection. So they're not destroying the Europia. They're just going to check it out. That makes more sense. Indeed. You know the half of it, but your memories were sealed, so you don't know the half of it. Or shouldn't they sealed, they were rewritten.
そうにらむ。私との任務がそんなに不満か。何の不満がある？皇帝陛下もバルトシュタイン卿もご満足いただけたようじゃないか。
I'm glad Suzaku shows frustration about what happened, but it would have been kind of good if during Akito the Exiled he brought that up or something, and then this story could have more foundation for this. Because right now, it's just weird how Suzaku wouldn't have brought that up in the original series or OVA when they were arguing about stuff. It seemed like it was dropped. I don't know. This is always a problem when you put like mequels of mequels, or just add more expanded universe stuff. It can sometimes contradict other stuff. You gotta be very careful when you do stuff like that. It's not a major thing, but it's kind of annoying.
何を甘いことを。これは戦争だ。戦いには勝たなければ意味がない。
We're back to the whole results don't matter. What's sweet? This is war. Doesn't make sense if you don't want to win the battle. I don't think Suzaku is even saying that, dude. He's saying the means you did are not acceptable. Winning is fine, but it's how you win.
それに結果的に民間人に死傷者は出ていないだろう。ブリタニアの本体が蹂躙するよりもマシな結果になったじゃないか。
Yeah, a lot of soldiers died though. Not the only one, but definitely one of the only one to do it.
まあいい。この何から要塞を含め、後のことはビレッタ。お前に任せる。
That never actually came up in the story. Oh, I see. So they leave Valed, the fortress, when they go out to the Europia. Okay, that makes sense.
私とスザクは皇帝陛下の命に従い、陸路でペテルブルクへと向かう。心配せずと。
He said
ここから
Suzaku,
はユ
and
ーロブリ
he
タニアの
supports
支
not
配地
alone.
域が多い。まあ、何かあったとしても、ナイト・オブ・セブン様が守ってくれるだろうしな。
So there's a difference between Europia and Euro Britannia. Oh, maybe that's what they were referring to. Okay, I got those confused. I thought they were the same thing, but guess they weren't.
なあ、
Or aren't, rather. Another prologue. Or probably, I'm sorry, epilogue. Which will probably show them on the train. I didn't know. Oh yeah, I know Lloyd ran to Suzaku at this time. I guess that makes sense. I broke the float unit. Again, not cared about Suzaku. Cecile's like, "Are you serious? That's all you care about?" Oh, she punched him and grabbed him. That was actually a really cool animation. How come we don't see more of that in these stories? That was really good. Too late for that. That's probably the idea for the Conquista, I would imagine, what they're bringing up there. Oh, look at that. That's actually something nice he said about Suzaku for the first time ever. The Visor and the mech must come back together. Or not airframe, I mean.
ナイトメアの積み込みは終わったのか？
I assume that means yes. Or... oh.
さっき私を止めると言っていた話だが。いや、なんでもない。では、行くとしようか。新しい戦地へ。
So they're off to go to Petersburg, or St. Petersburg, and it looks like here the operation to take Petersburg has already started, which means we just started the events of Akito the Exiled. Yep, just in case, but not now though. Ooh, back to Akito. We haven't seen him since the first chapter, I believe. Again, talking to his fellow comrades who were killed in that first operation to get Petersburg back with the suicide Alexanders. But you guys won't like what happens when you get on that battlefield. What's he gonna find? Good question. A place to die, okay. And that's the end of the event, The Lion's Messenger. There we go, we just completed the whole story. My thoughts on the story are kind of lukewarm. I think it's cool they show you what led up to the event before the start of Akito the Exiled. Although they don't show you Charles actually making Lelouch Julius Kingsley, they also don't show you exactly how he went from Julius Kingsley to Lelouch again in the start of Arc 2. Those are two things I think are most important. I'm not saying this story wasn't necessary. I mean, there's definitely some good stuff here, but I think we could have kind of assumed that Julius might have done some stuff with Suzaku before the events of Akito the Exiled. I'm more interested in what happened before he even was sent to St. Petersburg, or when he returned back to Japan and neither of those two things are really explored into this I guess you could say meatquel of a meatquel, which is, yeah, that's what this is basically. It's not terrible. The last one was much better, definitely much better. I am curious to see what they're gonna do. Maybe we'll get more stuff like this, connecting more of the dots, which I definitely think Geass needs more of. Well, I will say this could have been a really good OVA. A quick 30-minute OVA to discuss all this stuff. But instead we get into this format. I can't complain too much, but here I am. Anyhow guys, that's where we're going to end this off. Let me know what you guys think about this story. Do you think it answered the questions you had? Or do you have more things that you're curious about that occurred with Suzaku and Julius before the events of Akito the Exiled? Either way, let me know in the comments below. Like, share the video, and as I always like to say, tomorrow's not... Wait. And as I always like to say... Oh my god. I'm tripping on my words. And as I always like to say, the world is not a dark place, and tomorrow will be a good day. Thanks for watching.